everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. Would you like me to start that again?
I thought it was a fine intro. I was trying to do a mustache.
Okay. All right.
My pen.
Well,
I got
like
this
I
pen
said.
from Rin.
Okay. Like I said, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie, Mandy.
I can't get it to stay. Can anybody else do that? Get their pen to stay there?
Well, today's video is what, Mandy?
Well, today's video is dark romance because it was the most so far on the tropes survey, whatever we want to call that. It was the most requested video from us. And we're like, we feel like we do this a lot. But we got to looking, and Jessica's done a few like in the dark. Like she did a darkest of the dark. She did Dark Cowboy for convincings, but it's been a while since we've actually just done a regular old dark romance.
Straight up dark romance, yeah.
We are delivering for you. Here is your dark romance that you guys are wanting. So make sure, if you haven't had a chance to do it, to go enter. You can for our 3K giveaway for the Coveted cover books, and you can also mark off any trope videos you would like to see from us.
Yep. Do that.
But do it quick because we're going to be doing the drawing in just a couple days. And you will hear the winner announced on 1 Minute Book Recs on September 15th.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's get started with some dark. Let's give the people what they asked for.
Yes.
Well, let's get this party started. So, I guess if we know, we'll be able to tell you where it is kind of on a little bit of a scale. But remember, like, my dark is a little bit different than your dark. And somebody else's dark might not be. Like, dark is subjective to the reader. So I'm going to tell you where I think it falls.
It very much so is, because I know even now that I've been reading it a little bit, I don't read it nearly as much as you do, but even I've been reading it. And when we were planning this video, I was like, the author markets this as dark romance, but it doesn't really feel very dark to me.
Yeah.
And so
somebody who doesn't read it,
I really see the difference in the dark.
Yeah.
So
yes, and so just remember, there's a couple different scales here. There's my dark, there's Mandy's dark, and then there's your dark. So just keep that in mind. But we'll try and give you a little heads up of where it falls on the dark scale for us personally. You know. So, okay. So the first book I have is in a series. It can be read as a standalone. I do think you should just read all of these books. So this is Delightful Sins by Lola King. It's part of her North Shore series. They're all great. This is the third book in the North Shore series. The fourth is my favorite. But this one is an MFM, so keep that in mind too. So this is about Jade. This is like a gang situation. So when I originally picked these up, I thought they'd be mafia, but they're not. They're gangs. They're like there's a town that has a couple of different rival gangs. And so Jade was a part of one of these gangs. And she left. She ran away, and there's rumors about why she ran away. They think she stole some money from them, which is like immediate death for them. By the way, when I say this one's dark, it's more on the grayer scale for me. It's not dark. It's not dark really. There's just things there's some bullying and that kind of stuff that happens. There's other things too. Yeah, they'll kill somebody every once in a while and they beat them up. So there you go. But this one, so she took off. So when she was younger, she had a relationship with Ethan, and she and Ethan broke up. He was kind of like your dark, moody boy, a little bit of an outcast, and they broke up when he joined the gang. She eventually joined the gang as well. Well, then when they broke up, to kind of get revenge, she started sleeping with his stepbrother, who was Elliot. And Elliot was so much of a playboy, it wasn't even funny. But now she's taken off and she's ran. Well, both these boys, they want her back. And the woman who runs the gang wants her back so that she can get revenge. And so they find her, they track her down after a handful of years, and they drag her back kicking and screaming. And Elliot, the playboy, says, I can stop all of this if you just agree to be mine. But she still has feelings for Ethan. And it's a whole thing. So, you know, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my next book.
Mm-hmm.
I love this series so much. So it's a trilogy. and it is the Frozen Fate trilogy
My
by Pam Godwin.
baby.
Jessica, I
Yes.
just looked this up on Goodreads, and it only has 6,000 ratings.
I know.
How is this
I know.
possible?
I don't know.
So
It's
I
amazing.
debated whether or not to include this, but I have not included it before. So I'm like, I'm including it.
Yeah.
And now I'm glad I did when I saw that. I was like, holy smokes,
Yeah.
how is this not blowing up?
It should be. It should be.
Yes.
So, okay. I think people are intimidated because she calls it a why choose. And I
Yes.
think that throws people off, but it has a different why choose feeling to it. It's
Yeah,
not like that.
I don't really care for white shoes, and I loved this.
Yeah. Because it's
Loved it.
different. It's just not what it seems. Nothing is what it seems.
It's
Okay,
different.
talk about it.
It's dark. It's
Yes.
so good. So
Yes.
this is about Frankie. Frankie is married to like the wealthiest man in Alaska. And girl, what is your deal? Why are you still insisting on working? Like you could be living the dream in like a beautiful library and just spending your days reading and hanging out with an adorable little dog that you named Mr. Goose. Like, come on, woman. Okay. So Frankie and her husband get into a little bit of an argument. Maybe it's a bigger than a little bit of an argument. I think he goes to work, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he thinks she goes to work, but she actually ends up getting kidnapped and taken. And she wakes up and is being flown on like a small, actually, she doesn't wake up. What am I talking about? It's a procedure to get her to this place, to the plane. And so she's taken to this very remote area of Alaska, like up North Pole area, tundra. And there's a cabin there where this guy who kidnapped her lives with his 3 adult sons. But nothing is as it seems there, and she's pretty much being held captive. Now, it is really, I'm looking at my notes to see if there's anything I missed that I could still talk about with this book, but there's really not because it gives away too much. So this book will just suck you right in, and it is big. And the next 2 books are big, but you will not be like, oh my God, I still have 400 pages to read. It will not be one of those for you
No.
at all. You will be
No.
so sucked in. So all 3 books are done. There is audio for all 3 if you wish to listen as well, but it is really, really good. So come on,
It's
people.
just, it's
Go
one of
read
those
this.
books where you can't trust anything and you never know what's going to
Yeah.
happen. And the twists and like it has you guessing. And I can normally figure things out as we go. But I couldn't figure a darn thing out in this book. There was a lot of gasping and
I am not a rereader. If you've been on the channel, you know this, but this is a series where, or trilogy, I keep calling it a series, but it is one where I feel like I could actually reread it to just find out all, like, now that I know, to be like, oh, because there's so much that's there.
I want to listen to the audio. I haven't done that. And I want to reread it just for the fact that I know things were changed because being a beta reader, things got changed from when I first read it to where it, when it was published. And so I'm just curious what has changed. And so I want to listen to the audio.
Oh,
so
speaking of you being a beta reader, you were a beta reader for Pam because of your Alaskan life. And
yeah.
I remember there was somebody else who was trying to be a beta reader who said they lived somewhere where it snowed a lot, and you like kind of had a tantrum about that because just because you get a lot of snow, that is not Alaska.
Amen.
Anyway, so this has been pounded into my mind so much. I've been to Alaska a few times. I have not lived there, but I've been there a couple of times. And I had this dream that I was living in Alaska and I was a bear hunter.
Brave
And
woman.
I was a guide, and there was a TV crew coming with me. Now, if you know me at all, I don't hunt. I have no business being in the Alaska wilderness. Like, none of this makes sense other than the trauma that Pam and Jessica have put me through. And Jessica does not believe in wearing mittens or gloves while you're in Alaska.
In the summer and spring. Why would you? It's like being in Washington. Anyhow.
But you could still go to places where there is glaciers and it is cold.
It's chilly. It's not cold. There's a chill that comes off of them. You're fine. I almost camped on one in the summertime. I would
I
have
feel
never.
like it's different though. If you live in California and you come to Western Washington and it's raining, you're gonna freak out and like
Look, if you
not
go
be able
to
to
Alaska
drive and
and you
need your
put on
umbrella and your
gloves
parka.
in August, May, June, July, or August, we're going to laugh at you.
Okay. See,
Okay.
but this is the thing. If you're not from around there, that might not be that abnormal. But anyways, so while I was being the bear guide, we had to go across this frozen water. And I said, we need to check to make sure that it's safe and not too thin. And so I took my bare hand and pounded into the frozen lake. There was not much ice. My hand went into the lake and it was really cold because I was not wearing mittens.
You know, here's the deal. I was all for you there. I was like, oh yeah, you're the Alaska bitch. You got this. And then you started complaining about how cold it was. And you lost me. We don't complain. You just do.
My hand, when I woke up, my hand still was cold from the
Yeah, I'm
experience.
wondering if like it was hanging out of the covers and Mr. Goose was licking it or something. I don't understand why your hand was cold when you woke up.
Mr. Goose doesn't sleep in her bedroom because
Yeah.
Jay won't let him.
Because Jay won't let him. Damn it, Jay. Okay, let's talk books. Let's get this back on track.
I
Miss
don't
Lux.
understand why. Mr. Goose is quite cuddly.
I understand why. No. Just say no. Okay, let's talk
Anyways,
about it.
so thanks, Jessica and Pam. My hand still has not recovered.
God, it was a dream. Okay, so the next book that I have is Burn for Me by Effie Campbell. We'll see if we can heat this up. Okay, Mandy? So this is about Laura and Phoenix. So Laura's family is a part of the mafia, and her dad has made a really terrible decision. And she thinks everything's okay. She's engaged to get married to this other mafia dude, and she is happy-go-lucky. She's preparing for her wedding. It's about to happen. Well, one night, this guy that she's supposed to marry just before the wedding comes to her house and has dinner with the family. And that is when she finds out that things are not as she believed them to be. And she's been deceived in some certain ways, and her father has made some terrible, terrible decisions, which is going to result in harm coming to their family. Now, Phoenix is a fixer. He is mute. He cannot talk. He's very scarred. He wears a mask. He was in a fire when he was younger, and that has damaged him. And so he is a fixer for all different kinds of mafia. Like he just gets a phone call and then he knows that they need him. So then he'll text them and get the information that he needs. And his specialty is lighting things on fire. And so typically he'll get a call that a scene needs to be cleaned up and he will burn it to the ground with the bodies inside. And so he gets a call one night that he needs to go clean up this scene at a house where there are bodies. And so he goes to the house, and that is where he starts getting things ready to burn it to the ground when he goes upstairs and he finds Laura, and she is alive. She has been shot, but she is alive and she is trying to escape. But he has to have a body in order to save her. And so eventually he does take her and he keeps her as his captive, and things happen, but not everything is as it seems, and there's a lot that happens here, and the poor boy, he has just been through hell. So I loved Me the Scarred Hero. I loved their story. It was great, but definitely dark. I would say this is more on the dark end, not pitch black, but it's definitely dark.
All right, next I have The Five by Lily White. You've read this, Jessica.
I have.
This is good. So it's definitely dark romance, but it also has some thriller elements to it, or like very suspenseful thriller elements. So we have Justin. Justin is a psychologist who is in charge of interviewing, oh my gosh, what was her name? Rainey. And Rainey was found tied up in a bedroom at a house where everybody else was murdered. And she is really difficult to talk to. Like she can't kind of get to the point. So they bring him in to interview her because they believe that she's a victim and they want to figure out like what does she know? Why was she the only, like, did something happen? Why was she the only one that was not killed at this party? And so he's goes to interview her at her house and sits with her, and she's a little manipulative. I think that would maybe be the best way to say it. And she won't just answer his questions. She's like, well, to answer that, I have to start here. So this is her basically telling her story of her life pretty much up until these murders take place. But this is, like you said, Jessica, in your other one, this is one where nothing really is as it seems, and you don't really know who to believe or trust in this. And just when you think you have it figured out, you may be wrong. So
Yeah,
I love it. I love those thrillers. So really good. It does definitely have dark elements though.
for sure. 100%. Okay, so the next book I have is a trilogy. I haven't even read books 2 and 3 because I was waiting for the audio and they're finally out now. But this is Insatiable by Lee Rivers. I feel like Lee Rivers is really known for her the spider one, the Little Liar, Little Stranger and Little Liar. That's a duet. But this is amazing as well. And this, they all kind of tie together. So anyhow, so this is Insatiable. It is book 1. It is about Stacy and Cade. So Stacy broke Cade's heart 2 years prior to the book starting, and Cade has been stalking her and watching her ever since with a lot of hatred in his heart. But he still does it. He still has something there for her. He says it's hatred, but let's be honest here. Like he's killed boyfriends. He's done the whole thing. Like he is not a good guy. This is definitely dark. But now he has come back into her life, and he is going to do whatever it takes to get her back, but he's doing it for revenge. And this is another one that is really hard to talk about. It has a lot of my favorite elements to it, and we're only talking about the first book at this point. I haven't even got to 2 and 3. People love this trilogy, the people that have read it. I don't even like it. It's even a best friend's brother. I mean, one of those things. So, and I don't do best friend's brother or brother's best friend. So there's that. It's good. I don't even know what to say about it because it's really hard to talk about.
I would hope you're not doing your brother's best friend.
Ew, he's married.
So are you.
Oh yeah, I am too. And no, he is a firefighter, but no. Okay. Anyhow.
Well, now I'm intrigued about who it is.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Sit back and relax. Okay. What's your next dark romance? And how dark are we talking?
What we were doing in a second?
I did. I almost said mafia. We filmed that before this one. That's why. What's your next dark romance?
My next dark romance is Obsession by Harley Beck.
Oh, I love this one.
Yes, this is really good. This one I feel is pretty dark because there's some pretty graphic stuff in it. So we have Savannah. Savannah is a brand new, like only been a reporter for a few months, and she is at her job, and she gets called into her boss's office and is told that this prisoner who has been on death row has decided like his time is ticking, like he's at the end, like he only has a couple months left before his execution, and he has agreed to do an interview, but only with her, which makes her coworker pretty hostile at first about this because he feels like he's more deserving. He's been there long enough, but this prisoner, Robbie, is very adamant he will only talk to Savannah. So Savannah goes to the prison to do the interview, and they start doing their interviews and stuff, and like, oh, this is so hard to talk about. Mm-hmm. So we have the mystery of like, why did he specifically pick her? She's a brand new reporter, so it's not like he would know of her, like she did some wonderful piece that everybody knows about or anything like that. And so we kind of have that going on. We have Elliot, who's her coworker, who is pretty hostile about this, but then suddenly like starts to buddy up to her. And there's just a lot of stuff going on. And then we also are getting Robbie and Savannah's backstories while we're reading this. And then there is a mystery that is happening currently in the town with women that are being killed in pretty graphic ways. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this story as it weaves together. I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. It kept me very like I was up late reading. I was on a cruise while I was reading it, and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait to sit out in the sun and read." Like I was hooked.
It was really good.
Yes.
I don't want to put it down good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's about all I can say about it because getting too much more into it starts to give stuff away. But
Yeah.
it's a really good book. Like if you like a little suspense with your dark romance, this book will fill that for you.
Yeah. And so will the next book that I have.
Nice.
So I have Grave Matter by Karina Halley. This one is definitely suspenseful. She actually has it listed as a horror science fiction psychological thriller. Like it's got all the things because it makes you really question those. So it's definitely dark. So this takes place out on Vancouver Island. It is about Sydney and Wes. So Sydney shows up to work for this foundation. They're trying to find a cure for Alzheimer's. This is her doing her, it's like her last year of college, her I don't remember what it was. It has something to do with her college. And so she's supposed to spend a year on this island. It's at a remote location, and there's really no contact with the outside world at all. Like they give up their cell phones and everything when they get there. But weird things start to happen. Like literally the minute her float plane touches down and she gets onto the dock, like she starts to remember things that she's like, but that hasn't happened. Or she sees people that they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. That person isn't here. That person left a long time ago. Like you're constantly questioning what is going on with this girl. And in the meantime, Wes, who is one of the professors there, he's one of the scientists there, but he is one of her professors in this group. He starts showing up outside her window at night and watching her. And there's some, there's a pull there between them, but there's also a question of what the hell is going on. So this definitely is one of those that for me, reading it at night was like just like Death Valley by Karina Halley. It was a little hard for me to get through at night because I don't do scary stuff, but there was some stuff in here that I was like, oh, and I never saw the twist coming. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
Okay. All right. My next one is one that you may have already read, but it is really good. So I'm going to put it on here. And that is The Wrong Quarterback by C.R. Jane. This is the first book in the Wrong Player series. I just love C.R. Jane. So I am going to read you very carefully because I don't want to break the spine, the dedication, because I think it kind of sets the tone for what we're going to be reading. And it says, to my own thank you, Amy, which if you know, you know. The stars are stunning up here. Thanks for beating my spirit black and blue all those years ago. P.S. I know you read my books. I love that. So this book starts off with Cassie, and in the prologue, I was like literally wounded and cried. So Cassie is dealing with a lot of stuff that's happened in her family over the last 2 years, and she's going off to college believing that she's going to be reunited with Gray, who was her brother's best friend, but also who she believes is going to be her boyfriend, and they're going to be in a relationship. But when she gets to college, Gray just continuously blows her off. He's trying to get into isn't he in a frat already, or he's trying to?
Yeah, he's in a frat, I think.
And he's very like preoccupied with all this stuff that he has to be doing for this frat, and he really just blows her off a lot while stringing her along, like just with like little breadcrumbs. Well, in the meantime, she ends up meeting Parker Davis. And Parker is your typical C.R. Jane guy. He gets obsessed with her very quickly and wants her for himself and will stop at nothing to make her life wonderful and to make sure she ends up with him. So, loved it. I would say it's a little more on the lighter side of dark romance, but if you're just getting started, C.R. Jane might be more dark than what you want to read. But
yeah,
it feels pretty light if you read like some really dark romance.
Well, and I think C.R. Jane does a great job of writing the dark elements in a way that they don't feel as dark.
Yes, that is very true. Like her characters don't come off. They're unhinged, but unhinged in a like, I love you. And if I have to chain you to my bed to keep you from going to work so I can keep you safe, That is what I will do, but I will also like bring you bonbons and make sure every desire you have is fulfilled.
Yeah. Except for the
You just
desire
can't
to
leave
leave.
me.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. So the last book I have is probably one of the darker ones. I mean, it's not pitch black for me, but it's definitely darker. And this is Savage by Raisa Donovan and Addison Wolf. I had to make sure to get their names correct here. That's why I had to look down. So this is about Steph and Dr. Hunter Savage. So this is a spinoff of one of their trilogies that they have that was like the best breeding book ever. It was, I can't remember what it's called. I'd have to look it up, but it's the same authors. And anyhow, this is a spinoff. So in that book, we see that there is mafia elements, and the head of the mafia has a brothel. And if you owe him money because you've bought too many drugs, or you're a drug dealer and you've lost money or whatever, then typically if there's a woman in your life, she gets sold to the brothel, and that's how you pay that back. And so that is what's happened with Steph. She has been addicted to drugs for years. Her boyfriend was a dealer, and he couldn't pay back the mafia guy for the drugs, and so he sold Steph into this brothel, and this is where she's been for a little while. Now she's the crier. She's very emotional. She gets in trouble a lot because she cries with clients. I don't blame her. I would be a mess. But Hunter likes that. Hunter loves when she cries. So Hunter makes a deal with the head of the mafia for whatever reason. He's a doctor with them. He's a gynecologist. And he takes Steph to be his sex slave. First thing that he does, though, is try to get her off the drugs. So we have all of the withdrawals and everything we see her go through. And he tries to make her this mindless doll, but she's not mindless, and she doesn't want to be. And eventually things start to progress in a different way. I loved it. I probably shouldn't have, but I really did. Sorry. Sorry, I'm mentally disturbed. I can't help it.
You are.
Yeah. But it was good. It was good. There's 2 other books in the series I hope to get to soon.
Okay.
Okay.
So my last one is probably one of the darkest books I've ever read, which it's pretty up there. It's Alex Grayson, so yes, it is pretty up there in the dark elements.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, I just want to do a little side note. There is some pretty like on page detailed horrific abuse that happens. So I kind of didn't like that stuff. I don't really always care for, and so just want to put that out there to make sure you check triggers. Like you might be like, oh, a dark is fine with me, but this might be one that you want to check your triggers on. Okay, so this is The King of Hearts. It's her latest release. And this one is really, it's like almost impossible to talk about because when you first start, the dual point of view chapters are her and him. So we don't even have a clear picture of what is happening to start. So I don't want to ruin anything for anyone. So go in blind with this one. If you want to know some of the tropes, you have mass stalker, you have forced marriage, you have vigilante, you have birth control tampering, you have forced pregnancy, you have primal play, you have breeding kink, daddy kink, and basically the list just continues to go on and on in this one. And who you think is stalking may not be the only stalker in this situation as well. So it is just kind of crazy. It's setting up a whole new world or not new world, but like new, what do I mean? Like it's a new series.
New
So
series.
there's new characters. So you can kind of see like where this may be going eventually. It's the Raven group. This is book 1. I just saw that on my notes. Sorry. But go in blind. But just know it's pretty dark and there's some pretty graphic stuff in it.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's all of our dark. Don't forget to check those triggers. Please check the
Yes.
triggers. Be responsible. And the Raisa Donovan and Addison Wolf book that I was thinking of was Claiming Vanessa, just in case anybody wants to know. Yeah, it's Trilogy. Anyhow.
Thank you for sharing that. So people can go check out Breeding as well.
It's dark mafia. Why choose breeding? Forced. It's forced. It's good though.
Forced. What was that?
It's forced breeding.
All right.
Not for everybody. Okay.
Well, Let us know how you enjoy dark romance in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Also, I just want to remind people we no longer get notifications. So if you comment, we see that. If we comment back and then you comment again, we don't get notifications on that and they kind of disappear. So if you want to respond back, like start a new comment almost, I think. So that way we get notifications of it. Because we do have a lot of videos. So sometimes it gets a little overwhelming to go back through and make sure that we haven't missed any like second comments in a thread. It's really annoying. I don't know why YouTube did that. I sent an email just requesting that they turn that feature back on so you can get the notifications. But anyway, not that they're going to listen to me, but there were a bunch of people who were complaining about it. So the theory was if enough of us mention it, that maybe they'll turn it back on for us. Yeah. But I just don't want people to be like, oh, I responded to their comment and I never heard back. We're not ignoring you. We're sorry.
We just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And
I thought I said to check back. Did I not?
I don't know. Did you?
Maybe I didn't. Anyway, well, here you go again. If I did, make sure you check back. Maybe I didn't. On Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us, and sometimes Wednesdays, but not for a while.
Yeah, and if she did, sorry, I'm losing it. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.